What is life? Life forms has a different shape and characters. Here is a bat and fishy and human. So our cells are also part of our life forms. And plant looks very different, but it's also life form. And worms, well, this worm has a 6 legs. Maybe you can call it insect. Anyway, this kind of worm insect is also life form, and even single cellular bacteria. So all of this, we call this is life forms. Then what is the common aspects of life forms? So if you think about the life forms are the characteristics, they do self-maintain and they grow and also develop. So here the develop means from one cell into multicellular structure, kind of a uh, growing and making complicated shape. And metabolize. So material in and out, also energy at the generation and removal of waste is the character of life. And also the life forms respond to environmental stimuli. Important aspect of life form is it can reproduce the same structure, same form, same shape of the identity. Also, life forms evolve. Responding to the environment, it slowly changes its shape and characters. Eventually, life forms age and dies. So these are characters of lives. But if you think about one by one, let's think. Self-maintaining. How about this kind of a candle? Candle can keep the fire until the old candles melt down and respond to the environment. And the shape of the flame is a little shaking, but it can be recovered. So this is kind of a self-maintaining character. Then, can you call this candle is life? How about the growth and develop? If you look at the crystal growing, these crystals, they can accumulate the material from environment. They can grow. Then, can you call this crystal is life? How about the metabolism? In engine, if you can give fuel into the engine, then this engine eventually generate the energy and also produce a byproduct. And this engine's function, this is very similar to the metabolism. Then can you call this engine is a life form? How about the response? Well, this kind of a chroma lens in the dark area, it has no color. But if you go out to outside and this glass is exposed to the sunlight, so-called UV, then the lens color is changing. So this kind of responding to the stimuli. Can you call this glass is life? How about reproduction? Well, crystal collect the material and make exactly same structure to the original or the shape of a crystal. This is absolute or very good example of reproduction. Is this really the crystal is really life form? Or opposite case, how about this animal? This animal is a S. S, the father is a donkey and mother is a horse, and this a hybrid of the animal S. This has perfect shape and very good character and it can live the whole life. Unfortunately, S cannot reproduce. That means S cannot bear the baby S. Then S cannot reproduce. Then this S is not life. How about the evolve? Well, crystal grows in one form. If it find or encounter new the environmental changes, now they change the growth type and then make a different type of the crystal. And this is kind of seems like this is similar to evolution, but again, the question is, then the crystal is life? Age and die. All the life forms age and die, but the mechanical machines also get aged, and eventually it loses its function. It's very similar to the death. So all of these cases shows that the characteristics of life, these lives, always there's some example which is mimicking the life characteristic. And opposite way, this proof. Sometimes they do not have this character, but still they seem like exactly life forms. Then, can you give very definitive definition of life? Well, this may not be easy question, but there's a very interesting and very promising one definition: entropy maintenance. If there is any area or boundary and the entropy is maintained, but entropy maintaining is not cannot be achieved for free, and this process required releasing a lot bigger entropy to the outside, and this kind of entropy maintenance can be a very good definition of life. So according to this definition, life is not just the order itself, but life is the process of maintaining order. And this interesting definition was suggested by famous physicist Erwin Schrödinger. Schrödinger is a very famous the physicist who contributed a lot to the very early stage of quantum mechanics at the early the 20th century.